Last night, the Montreal Canadiens were eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs with a 5-game gentleman sweep to the Washington Capitals. And as we did with the Devils video, and we talked about them for about 5 or 6 minutes, we're going to do the same thing here with the Canadiens. We're going to do it for every team in the playoffs. To be honest, this was a year for Montreal that I don't think a lot of people expected. I'm being completely honest with you guys. I don't really think that was happening, in my opinion. And, nobody really had them in the playoffs. I think, again, like, we thought they were going to get better. We thought they'd be competitive, but we thought they would still be around bottom 10 in the league. And instead, they break in that last wild card spot. You can say what you want about, oh, the Rangers were just bad or the Blue Jackets were bad, and if they were good, they wouldn't have made it. But regardless, it was a season for Montreal that nobody expected. And even though they came in there and they played against Washington and they got swept in 5 games, or not really swept, they took a gentleman sweep in 5 games. Honestly, they didn't look bad. A lot of the games they were in, it was relatively close. Again, last night's game was 3-1 with an empty net goal to make it 4-1. The game before, it was tied until 2 minutes left in the game. And then game 3, obviously Montreal won that. Game 2 was basically 2-1. Honestly, a lot of these games were pretty close. And I think that shows a positive there for Montreal. And again, I understand that maybe, the Capitals' chances were better and they were the better team through a lot of it. Even still, it does mean something. And it gives these players who, a lot of them have never played in the playoffs before, like Lane Hudson, Ivan Demidov. A lot of those guys on that team have never played in the Stanley Cup playoffs before. And getting those younger players on that roster some core experience really does help them moving forward. And I think that is something you can take away from this year. But again, they start off the year at a sense where nobody really thought they were going to be that good. They started off not that good. And then they had a really good second half of the season. They were almost 10 games above 500 in the second half of the year. And they come in the next season and through these month of April and was unreal. And again, it just sucks that this is the way that they go out. But the fact that they made it to the first round over some of the teams that they were fighting with, that I think a lot of people would have picked to go over them. The Rangers, everybody thought they were going to be good this year, and they obviously shit the bed. The Blue Jackets, nobody really thought they were going to be this good, but overall. And then the Islanders, too. They were bad, but we thought they'd be better than Montreal. Montreal, disproved all of those haters, all of those doubters there. And the fact that they got into the playoffs themselves is just merely so impressive. And I think that for Canadiens fans, that is something really positive to take away from here. As well as that, too, you got Nick Suzuki, who just had a career season, scored, over a point per game. Cole Caulfield got to nearly 40 goals for the first time in his career. Lane Hudson broke defensive records, tied defensive records, and will probably win the Calder this year. You got Ivan Demidov, your number one prospect over from Russia at the end of this season when we thought he wasn't going to come over. You got Jakub Dobš, who turned into a really good backup tandem goaltender with Sam Montembeault. You got Jacob Fowler, who came over to Laval at the end of this season as well. It's an overwhelming amount of positivity for Montreal at this point in the season. And what's crazy, too, is that they have the most draft picks in this coming draft. And that is just the craziest part to me. The fact that team can be that good and have all those picks coming up, it is just unreal with what Montreal's been able to build and the things they've been able to do. And I give them a ton of credit for building this team up to the way that they are right now. It's just absolutely phenomenal. So, not really that long of a video. It's not like the Devils in a sense where I can go into it pretty quickly and talk a lot about it. It's a lot of positives. Again, I don't have a lot of negatives to really touch on. I did not expect Montreal to be here. I'm being completely honest with you guys. I did not expect them to be in a playoff spot at this point in the season. And I give them major props because next year and the years moving forward are going to be very bright if they turn out to be years like this. I think, again, if you can keep the consistency next season, who knows? You can probably break in next year. I just don't know, though, because the Atlantic is just such a bloodbath. And, there's possibility of teams that weren't in it this year, they'll bounce back. Boston was a big part of why Ottawa and Montreal made it. So were the Rangers. Just, you don't know, next year could be different. And we don't know if the Canadiens are really ready yet to take over that top 3 spot in the Atlantic or get a top 3 spot in the Atlantic. But who knows? Next year there could be a completely different timeline. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'm rambling for way too long. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe if you're new. We are building a great community here on this channel. Watch with Nordic live streams all throughout the week. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.